Hello there, Trap Exit here. I wanted to show you some of the 3DO decomp work that I've been doing. First, let's look at Road Rash, one of the 3DO's most famous titles. So the way that my tool works is it will break down the executable into individual functions, one file per function, and then recreate or reconstruct those functions from assembly to C, one file at a time. As a result, we can see here there are quite a few files, quite a few functions that get generated. Now, not all these functions are really coming from the application itself. The 3DO uses static libraries a lot, and so some of these are actually straight from the original SDK, and these will eventually be teased out of the system and replaced. It takes too long to build all this, so I'm just going to run it for you, and then I will make a small change, and just to prove that this is in fact not me just repackaging the original executable or otherwise tweaking assets or something. So it's already built, and let's run it in Opera. Now, this title does have copyrighted audio straight out of the bat, so I'm going to speak over it a little bit and then fast forward. But as you can see, the intro starts to play. Let's skip that. And then get right into the initial splash screen. And Soundgarden plays. We get to the main menu. Let's go into thrash mode, the city. I don't want to give Soundgarden too much time. I don't want to get copyright struck. It's game loading. We get into the race for the city. And it's probably a little loud, but here we go. Now, this still has some bugs. I'm regularly fixing some of those bugs, but they are very much kind of that last 5%. The tool was able to get to a fully functional, well, the tool combined with an AI harness was able to get to a fully functional executable and image almost completely by itself. So now let's, just to prove to you that this is in fact being compiled and from this decompiled project, I have there's this, the game runs the menu and the race in a clipped window, actually, because of CRT overscan and stuff. So I've just divided the clip width by 2, and now if we run it again, and again have to skip by the intro video, we should see that we're going to get a distorted initial window. As you can see, half of the width, and it's centered because the logic layer automatically centers it. All right, so Road Rash, it still needs work. It largely works. I think the average person wouldn't even notice that this is a recomp. Now, the way in which I'm building these CD images is probably removing some of what are called avatars in the file system. And so running this on a CD-ROM based real hardware, there could be latencies due to lack of these avatars, where the original disk might have copies of the file distributed kind of uniformly across the disk to save on access times. So there is some work to be done there, but in terms of emulators or the new 3DO Mr. Core, etc., you probably won't even notice, or it might even be faster. The next project, Return Fire. So Return Fire is a well-respected title on the 3DO. It was actually got a sequel as well with additional maps. It's a combat game, isometric kind of view where you drive a helicopter or a tank or a jeep, and you have to kind of capture the flag by defeating the enemy and then capturing their flag and then bringing it back to your base. This was in fact my first decomp attempt. certain 3DO titles actually have some of their debugging symbols released or on the CD with the retail release, and that has helped a little bit. Road Rash, in fact, was not one of them, and the decomp work has been better there, but mostly because of what I learned from Return Fire. So if we go and make run here, now this again, this is kind of the initial decomp work. It's less thorough, but here we've got the video. This is actually a video playing. I'll let it go for a second. And right now it actually skips the initial start screen where you pick your options and how many players and stuff and goes straight into a level. This game actually uses multiple executables, probably just to make it easier to jump around between different components of the runtime. The 3DO has a multitasking operating system, and so it can actually spawn separate processes and have them run and watch them, and much like a modern operating system. And so some developers would actually package multiple executables and maybe have one to play videos and one to play audio in the background, maybe a process to do the options screen versus the main gameplay, and Return Fire is one of those games. So let's pick the tank here. Now again, this you can see there as the tank comes up in the elevator, the animation is a little bit messed up. You can see there, I think the palette is screwed up, but otherwise this plays just as you would expect. And I just ran over some people. All right, that's Return Fire. This, I think, maybe needs to go back in the oven and start from scratch. I've struggled to get the animation of the elevator just to work, but otherwise the game seems largely intact, including the menu, which is being skipped here just for the purposes of debugging. And the last is the infamous Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. This was the second project I worked on, and for one, it had debug symbols. That helped. And for two, the truth is, I love this game. If you go on GameFAQs.com and look up Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, the guide page, there's one guide to Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, and I wrote it over 20 years ago. So I figured, there was a deluxe, or not deluxe edition, but there was an edition that came out recently on different consoles and whatever, but they really didn't enhance it in any meaningful way. My thought here was not just to do a reconstruction of the title, but add nice features to it. And by nice features, I mean, if you've ever played the game, you will know that you have to wait for the audio every time you make a menu selection. You can't pause, you can't skip. I've added all of those. So we're not going to go through the intro video. If you know the game, you know the game. But we can fast forward, and it doesn't seem like much, but this is not available in the original release. And if we go into the game itself, you can pause, and you press X, and you can fast forward scenes. I might have added other features too, I can't remember. My intent here eventually is to release this as like a true deluxe edition of Plumbers Don't Wear Ties with with Windows, the original Windows assets, maybe the DVD upscaled assets, played in a high-res 3DO still screen mode that allows for extra colors and such. In any case, I hope this proves that I've accomplished or can accomplish what I hope to do with the whole 3DO catalog. And, I'll see you on the stream.